may have heard there have been many headlines in recent weeks about Activision Blizzard, which is the gaming company that make games like Overwatch and World of Warcraft, and also Call of Duty. Those are its kind of most well-known outputs, as it were. So I'm going to kick off really with a sort of summary of events and reports, and there are many, so do bear with me, and do feel free to chip in at any point, you two, if you have any particular points you want to raise. But basically everything started on the 20th of July this year, when a lawsuit was filed by California over widespread harassment of women within the Activision Blizzard workplace, which incited multiple instances of harassment and discrimination that are a violation of state civil rights. So there's one article I'm reading here from Kotaku, which summarises it quite nicely. It was on July the 20th, and is the culmination of a 2-year investigation into the publisher by the department, which says that Activision Blizzard's compliance with California's broad workplace protections is long overdue. And there are massive issues with the violations of the state's civil rights and equal pay laws. It mentions the particular highlights of the suit, I suppose that's how you would pronounce it. There are enormous pay discrepancies at the executive level between women and men, and says women are not only promoted more slowly, they're also terminated more quickly than their male counterparts. The company's frat boy workplace culture is also mentioned as a breeding ground for harassment and discrimination against women. And the particular report I'm reading does go into some quite heavy examples, I would say. Things like cube crawls, where male employees would drink copious amounts of alcohol and crawl their way through various cubicles in the office, and often engage in inappropriate behaviour towards female employees. Constant sexual harassment of female employees. And it goes on and on, really. It's just a non-stop barrage of discriminatory practices. Women were treated negatively due to their pregnancies. Women of colour were particularly vulnerable targets. And there have been numerous complaints which Blizzard have failed to act on. In January of this year, one final point from the report, Activision Blizzard called attempts to make its workplace more diverse, quote, unworkable. And so it goes on. There's another report that's followed up on the 24th of July, where it says an ex-Blizzard boss, Mike Mohane, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it, has said to women in a statement, "I failed you." And so, again, these reports are quite regular, they keep coming out. There was another one that followed on the 29th of July. Employees stage a walkout in protest of harassment allegations. And so it continues. This one, I believe, was on the 30th of July, where it was reported that a former Activision IT worker secretly filmed colleagues in the office bathroom. And another one on the same day, Blizzard recruiters asked hacker if she liked being penetrated at a job fair, and I read that one quite thoroughly. They also asked if she turned up with her boyfriend, because how could a woman possibly be there on her own at a jobs fair? And then there was another one, also on the 2nd of August. Activision CCO Fran Townsend tweeted an article about the problem with whistleblowing right after the Activision Blizzard lawsuit went live. So it's just, and it keeps going on. There's one final bit here, I believe, which was just yesterday. Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick began the quarterly investor earnings conference call with a strongly worded opening statement, stating that discrimination, harassment, or unequal treatment would not be tolerated, calling for Activision Blizzard to become a company that sets an example within the industry. He went on to announce that people would be held accountable for their actions, and management or leaders found to impede investigations would similarly be fired. The CEO also highlighted newly appointed co-leaders of Blizzard Entertainment, Jennifer O'Neill and Mike Ibarra. So that's kind of a summary of all the headlines that have come out in the last couple of weeks. So really what I want to ask you as a starter question is, are you surprised at what's happened? And who would like to jump in on that? I'll go for Jem first, if you want to kick off.
I wish I was. But no, I'm not at all surprised. I mean, actually, when I was digging into it today, I found, that they had another walkout in 2017 over pay. And the head honcho was walking away with, I think the figure was 40 million for his annual wages. So clearly the people at the top don't have any problems with inequality in their business. And I think, that if you create a culture like that, then you're going to end up in this sort of scenario. I think it's good that this group has got together to challenge them. I think that's really good. I think maybe that's the positive takeaway from this situation, actually, that people are beginning to say, actually, no, this isn't okay. So that's basically where I'm at with it. I think I'm not surprised.
I would agree as well. I think there's probably, sadly, other examples of it that haven't been revealed yet within the gaming industry, because things like this are usually quite widespread because of the dynamics of power and control and the patriarchy and everything that we've been discussing while we've been a podcast, really. And the culture that is prevalent in a lot of these places is very difficult to change unless there's more diversity and more inclusion at all levels of any workplace, really. Matt, did you want to share your thoughts on whether you were surprised or not by what's happened?
I disappeared then because my headphone ran out of battery, even though I've specifically been charging it. So unfortunately, I missed most of your explanation, Jem, sadly. But I can watch it back later. No, I'm not surprised. And I think this is a really remarkable way of... So there have been a Me Too movement, stuff like this comes out all the time in bits and bobs. This is the most concise sort of like exploration of the structure of abuse and systemic problems everywhere that permeates every single industry. It's not, there's some bits here, some bits there. It's all industries in one long line, like one massive cake, and all the issues that have been brought out in Activision and Blizzard are the through line, like they're lines that go through all of the cakes. They're like the cakes made of glass and rat poo and cat vomit, and it's all the way through. And I've never seen it so clearly. This is employees going, okay, no more. Okay, we're going to. So so up until the last few months, when this lawsuit was brought up, the status quo of Activision Blizzard was just going along nicely, which shows that everyone there in power was completely fine with the way things were.
Absolutely.
And would have happily gone, I don't care. Nothing's changed for decades, and we don't want it to change because we're doing really, really well. We've got Warhammer, we've got World of Warcraft, and we've got Call of Duty, two of the biggest cash cows of the gaming industry ever. We're doing fantastic. And now this comes out, and it's one of those things where these things, when you put the spotlight on them and you shine it on there clearly and long enough, then that's what makes change happen. Because now the culture is changing, And when all these things come out, not only is the legal side going to be on their side, the people who play the games are going to look at that. No one's going to look at that. The vast majority, like 90+%, probably 80+%,